Saturday morning, well, Saturday afternoon. It's like 10 till 1 p.m. on the 2nd of March, so March 2nd, 2019. Check this out. Oops, excuse me. Sorry, good thing no one's paying any attention. I just was coming out here, got mindful, brought him back in. There's excessive snow up there in some areas, but whatever. The other thing is, though, then he comes over here to this area where there shouldn't be anything that smells good at all. And it looks like it's been disturbed over here this morning. And there's a piece of tortilla. He starts like sniffing in there like he's smelling something good. And I'm like, what on earth could you smell that would even, deer aren't going to come up on the corner of the porch and poop. He's into deer poop. Cats aren't really going to go over there. Squirrels don't pay any attention to that area. So what are you going to smell? Then he starts, I'm like, yeah, can I come over here? And there's like a piece of tortilla. So check. Yeah, I don't know if it's tortilla or something else. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to bring it in and put it in the garbage. How did it get there? That's what I'm wondering. Like, where did this come from all of a sudden? Because I think I've mentioned that especially that neighbor next door and that one behind, well, and that one across the street. I mean, the whole neighborhood. Just screw it. Screw it. I'm not even going to tell the kind of things that I heard about that people used to joke about doing to dogs here, and that, hey, man, I probably joked about too. Well, I don't know. Those are so horrible. Some of those things that I don't even think I could have joked even when I didn't. When I was going through my severe animal hating phase. Yeah. So I've said before that weird, like freeze-dried worms, earthworms that seem odd, or bits of this or that, and sometimes Mindful will go out there, come in, and act really weird, and sometimes you can see, and that one time when I was sure that across the street and down the street, two of those, well, just that trailer court across the way, was actively poisoning him when he was a puppy, and he was scared of them. He was scared of their voices. I should go wash my hand too. I'm touching that thing. Even though I touched it with just my fingernails. Let's wash them. So he would act like he was scared of those people's voices. Finish doing this. And frankly, one of them came here from Potlatch, and I think she blamed me for being dragged into the gang. But she shouldn't have been a lying sack of fucking bitch shit here at my house trying to get me arrested for holding her hostage. Which I wasn't. And that was actually, she got herself involved in the gang. She was being nasty, playing nasty games with her friend behind me. Supposedly she's like a second mother to that thing behind me. So they were playing a nasty game. They thought they were going to get me in trouble all by themselves, when lo and behold, it turned out that the people, the judge, the cops, all these people that were encouraging them to get me in trouble, or to set me up, were, gosh, owned by the bitch that she didn't want to be involved in. So ha ha ha, she thought she was over here, bitch is over here, and she's doing her own thing, but really she's just doing the bitch's thing, just like that. Just like that. Ah ha ha. Fucked. So then she was all mad at me, but she was still had to do the gang's work, and at that point it was poisoning Mindful. And so aside from my dog feeling and demonstrating anxiety when he would hear that one's voice over here at this one's house. And aside from the other instances when this group made it really clear that they were acting in cahoots with each other as a group to screw me up. And aside from all of that, there was another member of the group at this point in time that came over that has never before or since been at my house, come to my house, stopped to talk to me in my yard in front of my house, but there he was cruising by, slow, and sure, he come on in, and it's like, huh. And he's kind of a weird old daddy anyways, that people are trying to get me to be his, like, think that he's in a sex club or that he's a buyer of sex products, human sex products, like, what is that called? Prostitution. So like he's a purchaser of prostitution. And what was the other thing they were trying to convince me he was? Oh, and that he like bought gold and silver in quantities, which I guess would look like he was fencing stuff maybe. Like there's a lot of burglary that goes on in here, and so it was looking like, so the one girl, woman from that I went to junior high school with, was, she's invasive, but it's a cop thing. So yeah, and these were narcs way back when too, and her mom was dirty cop. And anyway, she supposedly was a sheriff for 5 years and then got fired, but I don't know, and then she just like went on to this. So she was supposed to be leading me around into all this trouble, obviously. She just kept on trying to get me to do this, get me to do that, put me in this situation, put me in that situation. And frankly, I just kept telling her, look, dude, you're causing me anxiety. You're causing me anxiety. You're making me feel anxiety like I'm in my fucking childhood again and I'm trapped here. And so, yeah, eventually it was just like she gave me some fucking friendship eviction notice. And I was like, dude, I don't care if you're my friend or not. I'm certainly not coming over to your house. Here's your key, and you better give me my rototiller back, too. Oh. Yeah, oh. Don't tell me I'm a thief when you got my shit. Oh. So, yeah, so one of her boys, this man, older than me, so he's a man, she was trying to convince me or make me think that she was, like, doing prostitution for him. All the way around. Yuck! So, she's a psychopath. And then she was taking me around trying to get me to buy narcotics, and she stole my narcotics, and she forced me to give her 2 narcotic pills. I was like, I can't give you any of my morphine. I said, I need all that. She's like, what about the prescription for Vicodin that's on your table? I'm like, and so, yep, I did give her 2. And I told the cop on myself, and I told the doctor on myself. But how'd she know that I had a Vicodin prescription on the table anyways? It was in a bag. She was going through my stuff. So, and then they stole, like, and when I say they, I mean my company that was sent to me by these people to be my boyfriend and invade my house for a year. So, at that point, it appears as though somebody stole them, but what went missing was 150 of the 15 milligram morphines, and then, like, I don't know, 75-ish in the other bottle, I think 80-ish. It's a lot of morphine. And it was just gone. I was just like, and if it shows up now, it's just going to be ridiculous because I've been through every single area in my house. But, I mean, it might show up and be like, oh, look, you weren't actually missing that morphine, which, whatever, I don't care. At that point, I guess I would just, like, turn it in. And really, at the point that it got stolen, I had already pretty much quit using it on a daily basis. And besides those 2 bottles, I had, like, a 3rd bottle that I had just a few pills in, and that was plenty enough to finish taking me down off. of the morphine all the way. So yeah. So she kept leading me around into all these places, and then there was this, and so this third guy that she was trying to convince me bought, or trying to make me believe, I don't know, like lead me into believing, mislead me into believing, I would have to guess, because I'm sure that he's fed too. Um, that he was a buyer of like small pieces of jewelry. She said that she sold him this ring or got a loan from him for this diamond ring that she had. And so that's the kind of stuff that you would burgle, I guess. You know, I mean, if you're going to go into a house and steal stuff, I would guess that you would take, I mean, just from being a teenager, that's not, except for as an adult, I don't think that stuff's really worth anything. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't care. It's not my thing. I don't have fancy jewelry. I'm not into having other people's fancy jewelry. If I want something shiny, I'll string together some plastic or some glass beads. Good enough for me. I mean, I can appreciate diamonds and stuff, but they're way beyond my level. Come on. So she was trying to convince me that I could somehow make money off this old man, which I'm sure I had a reputation for as youth. That's what I was taught to do, and that's what I did. And in my defense, I would say that for the most part, I was a pretty nice person to those old men. I didn't rob from them. I didn't steal from them. I didn't do anything for them besides be a pain in their ass and hang out at their house. But, well, I'm sure I had sex with some of them. Not well. Too much information. But anyway, so yeah, so there was that, and I was just like, no. So this dude shows up my house, back to the poisoning of my dog, and that tortilla or whatever it was out there. So he showed up in this weird way, did this thing where he just kept going on about the cherry wood from the cherry tree, that they had murdered my cherry tree, and then they poisoned the stumps so severely that it couldn't grow. All the other stumps that got cut at that same time, paid for by me, all grew fresh trees out of the stumps, but not the cherry tree. And then they kept trying to get the wood afterwards. It was supposed to be gone, but then they didn't leave. Then the dude left it. Then I stacked it up. Yeah, it was just a big, hairy, funny scene. So here he comes, Mr. Alleged prostitution buyer, alleged gold and silver buyer, and he never before, never since, but he's all friendly, so come on in, dude. Um, and we sat here, and I smoked a bowl, and he didn't want any. Typical cop behavior, right? And he just wanted to talk about the cherry tree, the cherry tree, the cherry tree, and how different Mindful looked. Because I, frankly, at that point, I think that Mindful, my dog, had eaten some steroids, because they fed him. It looked like they fed him steroids a couple times, because his whole body would change. Like all of a sudden, he would just like glow with shininess and have really super big thick muscles and just like a different attitude. Like even one time he scared my other dog, and we are just like, whoa, he was freaking out in such a weird way and growling in such a weird way. We literally put him in the kennel and went back in the bedroom. And a different time, and it's this the only time he did this as a puppy, he like almost, he was freaking out and he couldn't stop growling, and he hates not having control of himself. I hate it too. And then he like did this almost like a dog scream, and then he like stood up and spewed. And I've never seen him do that before since, except for these last two times when we went around Superstars area. This last two times he looks like he's been given a heart attack pukes. So we'll just see how that goes. What are the heart attack pukes? Well, people are figuring it out about all that 5G, Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah stuff. Smartphones are amazing things, right? Mindful, shut up. So, yeah, poisoning. So, yeah, I don't know if that was a poison thing or not a poison thing, or if he's eaten some poison or anxiety-inducing stuff out there. We did run into a dog while we were out walking that the lady said she has anxiety, and I'm like, she probably has anxiety because she gets tortured while you're at work. Seen that too. They drive dogs crazy here while their people are at work. And I don't know. There's that. Yeah, I worked at a doggy daycare in Oregon, so I don't know that they're the safest place either because frankly we got bullied out of both dog parks here by groups of people that would bring in groups of dogs that were actually set up to interact in weird ways and cause damaging behavior from your dog. They would bring in a prey dog and then have the other dogs get aggressive on it, and your dogs are pack animals. If all the other dogs are going to aggress out on this on a prey dog, then your dog's going to get involved in it just because pack animal. So they would bring in a bunch of pit bulls and a scared prey dog. Or they would bring in a bunch of hound dogs that would chase them around and around and around. And they all had out of town plates. So, but they came in and out so often that I got used to seeing their different cars and their different people and their different dogs and recognizing them. So, flash mobbing, poisoning, all kinds of stuff. That's what it looks like anyways, or it could appear to be. Not that I'm accusing, of course. I'm speculating. And as far as I know, I still have free speech rights to speculate and wonder and ask questions.